Before you spend a single dollar on a family day trip in El Salvador, watch this first. Today I'm taking you inside Termos del Río, one of the country's most popular geothermal water parks, and I'm going to show you how you can save money and avoid the crowds, and make the most of every attraction, including some hidden gems most visitors completely miss. So before you plan your day, here's everything you need to know. Buenas tardes, mis amigos, y bendiciones para todos ustedes. Good afternoon, my friends, and blessings to you all. My name is Charity Hagenaars, and bienvenido a mi canal if you're new here, y bienvenido de nuevo if we're already old amigos. Si no habla inglés, ve a la configuración de YouTube y selecciona pista de audio para escuchar este video en español. O presione el botón CC para obtener subtítulos en español. Today's adventure, Termos del Río, a thermal paradise powered by the volcanic heat of this beautiful country. Many people ask me what to do in this country when you have children of various ages and interests. Well, this is one of my children's favorites, and we've come here 5 times already since we moved to El Salvador. I'll walk you through everything you need to know while you're watching the footage from our last trip there. So the hours and best times to visit. Let's start with the very first thing that will make or break your experience. The best time to go is during the weekdays and avoid Saturdays and Sundays at all costs. The park gets packed, especially the pools for the kids. The ranchos, the picnic tables, and lockers will be full, and you'll have nowhere to sit or put your belongings. And it will mean that someone will always have to be left out sitting with your stuff. We made this mistake on Annika's birthday, and it made it less pleasant to be there. Also, the wave pool was nuts with so many people in at one time. It was actually kind of dangerous, to be honest. And if you want quiet water, shorter lines, and better shade seating in the ranchos or the picnic areas, visit Monday through Friday, ideally arriving at opening time. So what is the opening time? The hours are 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. But always check the official website before you go because hours can shift if there's maintenance or holidays. Costs and coupons. Now, how to save money. This is my expertise. I am married to a Dutchman after all. Before you buy your tickets, go to the Termos del Río website, the official website. They often offer printable coupons, and that's the key. You got to print them. You get group discounts, and there are family packages. They have a promotion tab as well as a coupon tab. Now, under the coupon, they have family packages, and we've gotten the pizza, hot dog, and hamburger ones. Now, the pizza was awful. I don't recommend it. But the hot dog and hamburger ones were fine. Also, these come with the rancho, which is a covered structure with a ceiling fan, picnic table, and a hammock. Also, some plugs if you need to charge stuff. We have now used that 3 times and absolutely love it. And they are spread out around the park, but we usually go to the ones beside the water slides. If you have younger kids, there are ranchos that are beside the youth splash pad area. That'd be great if you have a lot of little ones. We get the 1 coupon for a family of 5 with the hamburger lunch, which is only from 11 to 12, I believe. The last time we went there, it was we got there around 11:05, and at 11:20 is when the wave pool goes, pro tip. And right after the wave pool went, I was in there for a little bit, and then I get out and I ordered our lunch, because after 12, I believe you cannot get it at all. And it comes with the ranch for $40. So that is 5 entrances, 5 lunches, and a covered seating area for $40. You cannot get a better deal here. The normal entrance fee is between $2 and $5 depending on your height. They don't really say child or adult, because if your child's over, I think it's 0.6 meters, you still pay the adult price if I remember correctly. But you can look at that up on the website. So the entrance between $2 and $5, again, based on height. And that'd be like $25 for the entrances for our family of 5, because I got older children. And the rancho itself is $15. So this coupon basically gets you the free lunch. I know they say you can never get a free lunch, but here you do. So if you're bringing a big family or a group, please check out these coupons. We once arranged a group of 13 people just last July, and I think the cost was about $6.80 per person. You cannot even compare that with the water parks in Canada, because they charge $62 per person in Canadian just to get in as the entrance fee. Just crazy. The catch is that you need to bring the printed off coupon. So some coupons are like a monthly special, some last for a few months. They all have a unique serial number that prints off when you print them out, and they keep the coupon once it's used. So you can just print them off whenever you want, whenever you need them. Also note that the park is $1 for parking. And bring some cash because not all the vendors or kiosks accept cards. And if you want to buy a drink or an ice cream, you're going to need a couple of dollars. Now, what to bring to the park? And, to save money and avoid any inconvenience, make sure you pack these things. Your swimsuits. Now, people here are very modestly dressed. So no skimpy bikinis for the most part. I would avoid those at all costs. Wear water shoes or flip-flops or something that's waterproof. That's important because the walkways can get very hot in the sun and they're very slippery sometimes. Also, sunscreen, if you're into that. My kids just wear shirts and hats. Actually, Annika's bathing suit has long sleeves, so she stays fully protected. And of the 15 months that we've lived in El Salvador, I've only gotten sunburned when I go to this park when I'm not wearing my hat. Bring a towel or two, extra clothing if you plan to change before you go home. Now, we don't. We typically just sort of dry off near the end of the day or put a towel on the seat of the car and drive home. We don't bother changing, but they have changing rooms there as well as bathrooms and showers. Now, here's a note. This is a pro tip. When you're going into the bathrooms, the toilet paper is not in the stall. You need to grab the toilet paper from outside the stall, as much as you think you're going to need, and then go into the stall to use it. That's one of the things. A lot of places are like that in El Salvador, but Termos del Río is definitely one of those places. Now, bring yourself a waterproof phone pouch or like a camera case if you want to get some cool underwater shots. Bring some snacks and some water if you think the lunch won't be enough. You are allowed to bring food items in. I've seen one couple, like a whole family bring in a bunch of coolers. They had like a birthday party or something going on there. When we had Annika's birthday party, we brought in cupcakes for that. They have no issue with that. You just can't, I don't think you can bring glass bottles because they always search your backpacks when you come in. You don't need cracked glass on the ground when a lot of people are walking around with no shoes on. So bring some extra cash for food stalls, lockers, picnic tables, hammocks, if you're not going to get a rancho. Also, there are other paid activities in the park, like a horse or donkey ride, a train tour around the park. There's a canopy tour, which is zip lining. You can get a bicycle rental, like one of those group bicycle rentals with like 2 or 4 people on it. There's what they call the Shark Plaza, which has bumper cars. It has this ship ride, an arcade, and they have paintball also. So those are extra on top of the entrance fee. We've not actually used those except for the train and bike rental in the past. We tried to do the zip lining, but the first time we went there, they told us that my kids didn't know enough Spanish to understand the directions, so they were not allowed to use the zip lining. But I think it's like $1. Each of these things are just $1 or $2. Optional but helpful is maybe a bag for wet clothing, if you plan to change or have a wet towel. What to do when you get to the park. Now, inside the park, you'll find full meals, typical Salvadorian plates, grilled meats, soups. There's Papa John's, Pollo Campero, La Navarria. There's a whole bunch of little restaurants there, actually. You can get snacks and drinks there. You can get desserts there. You can get iced coffee there, my favorite. A rental of a picnic table in the Bosques area, or a rancho, a hammock, a grill. Small essentials like sunscreen, water toys, floaties, and inner tubes they sell there as well. And they have a nursery there you can buy plants. Prices are very reasonable, but bringing your own small sacks will help your family save money. So attractions by age group. Termos del Río truly has something for everyone. So here's a breakdown depending on who you're bringing with you. For young kids, say ages, newborn to 7, there's a shallow kiddie pool. There's little small slides on it. There's gentle warm water pools, safe splash pad zones, and of course there's the train ride I mentioned, with an adult if you're really little. These areas are shaded and calmer during the week. So again, weekends are just chaotic. I would not recommend that, especially if a lot of little ones you got to keep your eyes on. Now, for older kids, say 8 to 12 years old, there are the medium-sized slides. There's, adventure pools. We'll say there's the wave pool. There's the warm thermal pools. There's the horse and donkey ride, train ride, canopy tour, bicycle rentals, and that Shark Plaza that has the bumper cars, the ship ride, and the arcade. They'll love, moving from pool to pool and exploring all the areas. If you have teens and adults, of course, we have the big water slides, especially the really scary yellow one that goes straight down. There's large warm pools. There's the wave pool, of course. There's the relaxing thermal baths. There's the horse and donkey ride, train tour, canopy tour, the zip line, bicycle rental, and the Shark Plaza, again, the bumper cars, ship ride, and arcade. And we have paintball on top of that. So there's so much to do here. Some pools get hotter than others, so that's perfect for adults who want to unwind and relax those muscles. And for seniors, the park is actually very senior friendly. There's warm thermal pools that are gentle on the joints, and walkways are easy to navigate, and there are ramps there. So if you just want to go down the ramp or you have someone with a walker, they can easily go down the ramp. The thermal experience. Why Termos del Río is special. What makes this park unique isn't just the slides, it's the geothermal water, heated naturally by El Salvador's volcanic activity. The pools stay warm all day, offering a spa-like experience that's perfect for relaxation and pain relief. The natural water is on one section of the park with like pea gravel bottom, and it's filled with these little fish that nibble on your dead skin cells, which is a little bit uncomfortable if you are particularly ticklish. So final tips before you go. Here's how to make your trip smooth, affordable, and stress-free. Go early on a weekday. Again, avoid weekends at all costs. Do not go too late in the day if you plan to get a rancho or a picnic table. I'll tell you my bad experience. On Annika's birthday, we didn't show up till maybe 10 and it opens at 8. By the time we got there, there were no ranchos. I was going to get a rancho, no ranchos. First come, first serve. So I got 3 picnic tables. We went into the Bosques area, could not find 3 picnic tables, let alone 3 together. And they actually came with a truck delivering more picnic tables, and there were lineups of people there to grab the tables. So we actually had to go back and get our money back because I paid for 3 tables and they're $3 a piece and I didn't get any tables. And then we ended up having to sit on like a grassy area, which actually has signs saying you can't do that. But when it's so full like that, that's what people were doing. We sat like on the little curb area around the grass and we just laid our stuff out there, which isn't a good experience because DJ or I had to stay behind all the time to be with the stuff. And now in the rancho, I don't stay with my stuff. I do put my bags there, and usually I'll put like the towels or hats or whatever it is over top. Or like last time, GJ actually spent most of the time in the hammock. So he was at our rancho pretty much the whole time we were there. And of course, then you have a picnic table to eat your lunch at or to have your water bottles and stuff out. So it just is so much more relaxing if you go on a weekday because there's hardly anyone there. And go early in the morning because it's not like full sun at that time. So if you want to be out in the water longer, you won't have to worry so much about the direct sunlight. The wave pool, I'll say, does not have any shade around it. And I tend to spend a lot of time in the wave pool just, floating around, I guess. And if I don't have my hat on, I do get sunburned. So that's been my experience. Like I said, we've been there 5 times. And the only time I've ever gotten sunburned in all of El Salvador has been at that water park. So last time I wore my hat the whole time. Bringing your own snacks and water, like there's no drinks included in the lunch, so we always have water with us. Of course, I do like to get my iced coffee, so my son, he went to La Neveria and got me iced coffee last time. And then my other kids, they went to one of the little cafes and got some bottles of water, or my son likes soda, so he got some soda. But if you don't bring it, it costs a couple bucks to get it. It's not that expensive, but want to save time and hassle, just bring it with you. You're allowed to bring that kind of stuff into the park, no problem. One time I brought in like granola bars and stuff. Just be careful if it's in the heat all day because it gets really soft, we'll say. Don't bring chocolate, it'll melt. Check the website for the coupons. This is going to save you a ton of money, and print them off because you'll need them. Bring some sort of shoes you can slip in and out of that are kind of waterproof because, like I said, it does get very hot on the concrete when you're walking, say, from the rancho to the water slides. I was almost burning my feet off, or it gets slippery depending on where you're at. And bring a few dollars in cash. It costs $1 to park there, so you'll need to give $1. There's always vendors that are selling stuff on the way in, especially like the inner tubes and stuff. So if you don't have one, you want to get one, you can get one on the way in. There's people selling stuff. And on the way out, they're selling, I love my favorite, green mango with a little hot sauce and salt. I love that. Those are $1 a bag. So I always have a couple bucks so I can pick up a few things on the way in or the way out. Choose a shaded area before the crowds arrive. Don't wait to get a seat. If you're there and you see a table and you bought the table, take the table. Now, if this video has helped you plan your visit to Termos del Río, do me a favor and hit that like button. It supports the channel so much. If you want real boots on the ground, honest insights into what expat life is really like in El Salvador, please take a second and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss our next adventure. It's just a small click for you, but it genuinely makes a huge difference and lets us keep making videos like this. And if you want to join our WhatsApp group, then email me your WhatsApp number to youtube@hagenaars.com. And see the description below for our Monday night call details at 7 p.m. El Salvador time, where we just hang out and chat amongst ourselves about what it's like to live in El Salvador or answer questions for people that want to know what it is like to live in El Salvador. Gracias, mi amigos, y nos vemos en el próximo video. Bendiciones.
Don't forget to hit the like button.